We're going to talk about ChatGPT Projects, which is an awesome feature inside ChatGPT that we can use to create small systems. So it's like an upgrade to a prompt where we actually do repetitive tasks. So that means like if we are creating newsletters on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, creating Instagram posts, creating small text that we are putting on LinkedIn, if we are analyzing stocks, if we're doing meal planning, accounting, bedtime stories for the kids, then we can actually use the AI to automate some of this quite simply. So inside ChatGPT, we go to the left and we click New Project. Then it opens a window like this one, and we can give it a name. So in this case, I'll use Weekly Newsletter Engine as an example. We'll go create the project. Then it opens like this. It looks like the normal ChatGPT window, but now it's actually a new one. And we can go up to the top and we can click on Add Files. So that actually opens the project settings. So the settings for this project. So we have the project name that I already gave it in the previous tab. So that's a weekly newsletter engine. What we then can do is that we can give it controls. We can give it instructions. So we don't need, like usually when we're using ChatGPT, please don't do this, do that, do blah, blah, blah. So we can actually do that beforehand. So in this case, I have a playbook with instructions that I'm going to use for running this project. So what I'm telling it is, always follow the attached playbook exactly. Execute one step at a time, step 1 to step 4. After each step, verify every success criteria explicitly. Then stop and wait for approval. Never merge step. If info is missing, ask questions instead of guessing, so on and so forth. So we can add controls to this, like things we want, things we don't want in the behavior of the AI, in this case, ChatGPT. Then we can add our playbook, which contains the general instructions of how to run this prompt. So in this case, I used a PDF, but we would actually use something called like Markdown instead. Usually, if we have like smaller subscriptions of like ChatGPT, like the free version, because then a PDF eats a lot of the tokens. So it's very hard for the AI to read and use PDFs. So that is not recommended. Anyways, that's besides this video. Then we have the memory function inside, and that's like project can access memory from outside chats, vice versa. This cannot be changed. We do not want that. It's the same thing like if I'm creating a bedtime story for the kids and I'm writing a newsletter and I'm talking about my job and I'm talking about like private stuff. I don't want those things mixed. So in this case, I'll turn that off. We do not want to use the memory thing. So a memory thing in ChatGPT and in the AI is something that is global, so it affects everything. Where project is local. So like the things I want in a newsletter, I do not necessarily want inside an Instagram post, for instance, or like a LinkedIn post or in a bedtime story. So I do not want these things to merge. When I've done this, I've done the settings. Then we have the file that contains like in the playbook, the instructions for this newsletter engine. And what I can do now with this project is I can just go in and I can write this week's topic for the newsletter is how AI can be your new girlfriend. And then I just click on the button and then it starts running the playbook with the controls I put inside. So playbook is just a list of like prompts that we want it to go through. So instead of it just being a simple prompt going to the end, then we've made a playbook that contains like a lot of different prompts that we wanted to execute in order. So the first like we wanted to do is that we want to create an outline for this newsletter. So we'll create a hook, a main point, and illustrations. Then we can go check, is this what we want? So in this case, I asked, how can AI be your new girlfriend? And that is a dumb prompt, right? So if we ask a stupid question, then we get a stupid answer. And that goes for AI too. So it tries to understand what I meant with that. So what it did is that, okay, so the hook for this newsletter is going to be why this matters now. Loneliness, burnout, and decision fatigue are rising, while AI has quietly become always on, attentive, judgment free for busy founders. That combination is powerful right now. Main point: AI isn't a replacement for human. It's a support system that helps small business owners think clearer, feel less alone, and execute faster. So this deviates a little bit from what I started with, like how AI can be your new girlfriend. But I'm already aware of that. So it's not like ChatGPT is going like out of tangent. So I can actually go in and change it. And then there's like some illustrations, key points that it can create afterwards for this. Then it's mentioning the call to action. So it said, oh, so this newsletter has a call to action, but it's not that good, right? So it's like, oh, maybe we should have a call to action. And then it's checking the success criteria. So I have success criteria inside this playbook, and we'll say, okay, so are these filled? So it says, okay, so the first three are okay. The fourth one with call to action is wrong, right? Because there's something wrong with the call to action. So it's reminding me. And then it says, before moving to step 2, we need to clarify what this call to action needs to be. And then it's asking with is it like the way it wrote it, is that okay, right? Do we want it like playful, provocative, or provocative but grounded? So now we can make the decision, do we like what it did? So it deviates a little bit from what I asked it. But you see, like the thing with this project now and the controls is that I can control the chat GPT before it goes out a tangent. So I can say, okay, maybe I like this, and then I can keep it, or I can prompt it to change something here. The thing is now I can go to step 2. So step 2 is that it will write the first draft. So it will write, in this case, I asked it to write the first draft in ChatGPT language. So I didn't ask it to do anything wild and crazy here. The thing is that I want it to do it in its own language. So, like what it's best at. So that's what it's doing right now. It's like if I ask someone to do something in English, but they are Chinese, might not work, right? So I just let ChatGPT do its thing. It's in its own language, writing this entire newsletter. And then we have the success criteria: 300 to 500 words, expert yet conversational, smart, friend tone, clear, educational, and practical for founders. So that's inside the playbook. So if I like what it did here, the outline, then I would go to step 3. So step 3 is where I wanted to go in and change it to my voice. So in this case, I can write things. So I can say like, so the brand voice is direct, witty, emphatic. Goal is tighten language, remove softness, sharpen punch, keep it human. Below is the rewritten on brand version. What we can also do here is that we can actually find newsletters. So maybe Palle wrote a lot of newsletters in the past. I have like 3, 4, 5 newsletters. I can put those into my playbook, and I say like, so this is the tone I usually write in. Can you write something that reminds of this? So I can get the ChatGPT to write similar to what I would write usually. And then it comes up with the newsletter. So it's still like how AI can be your new girlfriend, but it starts. Let's be honest, most founders do not lack tools, they lack support. Decision fatigue, mental overload, that constant background noise where every choice feels heavier than it should. And while everyone keeps talking about how AI saves time, they're missing the real upgrade. AI keeps you from being alone with your thoughts. That's where things gets interesting. Not because AI is emotional, but it's available, attentive, and doesn't add friction. So it's not really what I wanted at the beginning, but I kind of like it. I think it's kind of cool, but now something is wrong with the title. So the success criteria here are fulfilled, and we can go to step 4. So step 4 is that then it actually goes in and say, okay, we started with like, can AI be my girlfriend? Like, how to do that in this newsletter, but now it went in step 4, and then it changed it. So like it would say like AI is the support you're missing. So that's a much better title for this newsletter. So actually, I created the playbook and put this rule so to actually go in and redo the title at the end. But we started here and then we ended there, and this was just a 4-step process. So you can repeat this with a new title. And create another newsletter using the same thing and make it in your own words in a few minutes if you want to do that. So that's a way to use projects. If you like this content, subscribe to the channel. If you want to share something, write it in the comments. Else, that's all for me. If you like the video, give it a like. If you don't like it, give it a dislike. I have a playlist with more stuff on ChatGPT if you want to watch that up here. There's also one with Gemini. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.